A healthy and hearty meal during the winter months is acorn squash with wild rice stuffing. This recipe combines two traditional foods which are harvested earlier in the year to be stored and eaten during the cold winter season. The winter squash is a rich source of vitamin A and potassium. Wild rice or monomen is indigenous to the Great Lakes and is an aquatic grain, which means that it grows in water. When monomen is harvested in the fall, the seeds drop into the cold water and sink to the bottom, coming awake in the spring to grow again, feeding thousands of Anishinaabek families every year. Let's get started. First, gather your ingredients. You'll need a half cup of wild rice, 2 squash, acorn, carnival, or sweet dumpling squash work well, vegetable oil, salt and pepper, a half pound of ground bison, 1 small chopped onion, 1 to 2 ribs of chopped celery, a half teaspoon of rubbed sage or 4 fresh sage leaves, minced, a half teaspoon of garlic powder or 2 to 4 cloves of fresh garlic, minced, a half teaspoon of oregano or Italian seasoning, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1 4-ounce can of mushrooms, drained, a half cup of dried fruit and nut mix, or a 1/4 cup of dried cherries and a 1/4 cup of mixed nuts. Always start by washing your hands. Rinse the wild rice in water, drain, and add 3 cups of water in a medium-sized pan. Bring to a boil and reduce the heat to maintain a gentle simmer. Cover and cook until the rice is tender, about 30 to 45 minutes. Drain the excess liquid. While the rice is cooking, prepare the squash. Preheat the oven to 375. Wash the outside of the squash and slice in half. Scoop out the seeds and discard. Brush the cut sides of the squash with vegetable oil and sprinkle with salt and pepper. Place the squash in a baking dish, cut side up. Roast the squash until tender when poked with a fork or paring knife, about 30 to 50 minutes, and then remove from the oven. While the squash is roasting, prepare the filling by sautéing ground bison with chopped onion, celery, and spices until the meat is cooked through and the vegetables are soft. Add mushrooms, cooked wild rice, and trail mix. Stir gently until well mixed. Taste and adjust for spices. Divide the filling between the squash halves. Use a spoon to fill the squash bowls and mound the filling on top. Cover the pan with a foil and return to the oven until hot throughout, about 15 to 20 minutes. If you have a food thermometer, 165 degrees Fahrenheit is perfect. Serve immediately with salt and pepper. Enjoy!